Hello, welcome to the Technical Gentleman. This is an introduction to a series of videos and written tutorials that I'm going to be putting out over the next few months, maybe years, depending how long it takes, that are related primarily to personal privacy and security when it comes to your digital life and your online life. Um, I've got a lot of friends and family who are growing increasingly concerned uh, by all that they're seeing right now in the modern world. You know, they're seeing that big tech and governments all over the world are spying on people. They're data mining you, collecting your personal information. They're selling it, doing whatever else they want to do with it. Um, they're seeing the censorship that's happening from big tech companies on their various platforms. They're seeing, every day you see, some news story about how some hacker, steals millions of people's passwords or banking information or something like that. And so it's just this constant onslaught of vulnerability people are feeling, and really a lot of people just have no way how to protect themselves against any of this, and that's a very scary feeling, of course. Uh, so a lot of people are desperate to find a way to secure their digital life, and get that sense of security, get that back. Um, but there's a lot, but a lot of these people don't have the the technical know-how to know how to protect themselves. Um, if you do a 5-minute Google search, you'll find 101 different articles out there, different blog posts about, uh, how to secure your internet, or make yourself private, make yourself secure online. And some of the information in those is fine, but it's by no means comprehensive, uh, and doesn't actually, you're not learning anything from those articles, because there's just not enough information in them, I think, to be particularly useful. Um, the flip side of that is that there's tons of free, incredibly detailed documentation out there online about basically everything under the sun. You want to learn how to do something, it's out there. But a lot of that information is very technical, and to somebody like me that can be very useful. But if you're where I was, 5 or 6 years ago, and basically all you can do on a computer is open a web browser, that information's not going to be useful to you. You're not going to know what to do with it. Um, so my goal in creating these videos and these tutorials is to create a comprehensive and very accessible privacy and security guide, for people who are looking for that, and people who don't want to have to put in the hundreds of hours of research and become a computer scientist. You're just looking to learn the basics and learn how to protect yourself. Um, and my goal is to help you in that. Um, how that's going to look. Uh, One of the things you'll kind of learn in this is that as you increase your personal privacy and security, your digital privacy and your digital security, um, what you are sacrificing is convenience. Um, so, for example, I'm a big privacy and security advocate. I don't use social media. That's a convenience that I'm willing to forego in order to increase my privacy and security. So as you're, moving up this list and getting more private, getting more secure, you are sacrificing that convenience. Now, that cost can be greatly minimized if you know what you're doing. Um, but it is a cost. And it's probably the main cost. It's the main reason why people don't go down these paths is they don't want to make those sacrifices. They like the fact that they can have a little box in their house that they can talk to, and it's always listening to them, but they're willing to have it always listening to them for the sake of you know being able to verbally order something off of Amazon or verbally play a song or whatever. It's a modern convenience that they want, and they're willing to take the privacy and security hit that comes along with that. Um, Obviously, I'm advocating that people prioritize their privacy and security over the kind of silly conveniences of modern life. But where you're going to fall in that's going to be up to you. I can't make those determinations for you. And if you, nor do I go all the way either. If you imagine the most, private and secure person out there, he's living off in the wilderness somewhere, with no technology whatsoever, just completely off grid. Um, and I'm not advocating anybody to go and do that. Um, on the opposite side of that, you have the person who just doesn't care about the privacy and security at all. They get all the modern conveniences, and they get all the subscriptions, and all the little smart home devices and all that stuff. They just don't care. And everything about them is accessible. You give any Joe Schmo 10 minutes online, you can find everything, single piece of information about that particular person, because it's just all out there. That's certainly not what I want for my own life, and I know a lot of people who don't want that for their lives either. So it's going to be up for you to determine kind of where between these 2 points you're going to end up falling. And I'm going to, I've really got 2 goals in this. One is to help you determine where in that scale you want to fall, and where you should be falling, because you may not even have a good idea of how far down the rabbit hole you want to go. And I also want to help you get as far down along that rabbit hole as you want to go. So my goal is to do both of those things. So the way that I'll probably structure this is we'll have some basic, like, introduction, basic education stuff. I'm going to try to not get too technical with anything. But you need to know some really basic stuff. You need to have a basic understanding of how the internet works. You need to, understand some of the terminology. What is open source versus proprietary software. You need to know some of that really basic stuff, and those will be very short, and not detailed, but enough to get your feet wet, and give you some basic understanding you're going to need going forward. And then moving on from there, we'll probably have some, like, really basic level 1 stuff that come at, like, minimal cost to your convenience, and a minimal cost to, your daily life. You just kind of set it and forget it. But it's stuff that everybody should be doing, and everybody could be doing, that would, greatly increase their personal privacy and security. So, that'll be like level 1 stuff. And then as we get further along, we'll gradually be branching into things that come at higher and higher cost to your convenience, or more and more of a commitment of your time, maybe. They're not as easy to get set up and maintain, maybe, but they come at greater and greater benefits as well. So, that's going to be things like installing Linux, and we'll get into what that is later. But so as you move down these tier lists, you'll be gradually increasing your privacy and security, and hopefully you'll, as we're going along here, get a sense for where it is you want to fall in this. And I'll try to, as I'm giving instructions regarding how to do these various things, I'll try to be helping you make those determinations as to where you want to fall in this, because not everybody is going to want to be where I am. There's costs to that not everybody's going to want to make. Um, but I have yet to talk to somebody who doesn't want to be more private and secure than they are. Very few people are just comfortable with having all of their information being out there. So, hopefully, this guide will be of use to you. Um, and if this sounds like something you're interested in, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Obviously, there's not going to be anything out there yet, but I will be putting out more and more content over the following weeks and months, so that way you can keep posted. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to have you back here and following through with us. Should be a fun time.